This beautiful girl Dominika is a star ballet dancer at the famous theater in Moscow. She's really good at what she does, and everyone loves watching her dance. But here's the thing, she's not just dancing for fun or fame. Her mother is very sick and needs expensive medicine and treatment. The only way Dominika can pay for all this is by being the top dancer at the theater because they give her free housing and medical care for her family. Now, during one of her performances, something terrible happens. She's dancing with her partner Konstantin, and they're doing this really difficult move. Her worst nightmare struck. Her dance partner jumped and accidentally landed on her leg, breaking it. Her leg gets broken so badly that we can see the bones sticking out. It's really horrible to watch. The audience gasps and screams, and Dominika is lying on the stage in terrible pain. After the accident, Dominika spends months in the hospital. When Dominika woke up, she found herself in a hospital bed. Her leg was held together by metal pins, indicating she had just undergone surgery. She immediately understood the devastating truth. Her dancing career was over. 3 months later, when she finally gets out, she can walk again, but she can never dance professionally. The theater fires her immediately because she can't perform anymore. This means she loses everything: her job, her apartment, and most importantly, the medical insurance that was paying for her mother's treatment. Her mother is getting sicker and sicker, and Dominika has no money to help her. She feels completely hopeless and doesn't know what to do. That's when her Uncle Vanya shows up at her door. Now, Uncle Vanya isn't just any uncle. He's a very important person in the Russian intelligence service, basically like the Russian CIA. He hasn't visited Dominika and her mother in years, so his sudden appearance is very suspicious. He sits down with Dominika and shows her some photos and plays her some recordings. The photos show Konstantin, her dance partner who broke her leg, with another ballet dancer named Sonia. The recordings are of them talking about how they planned the whole accident. Sonia wanted Dominika's job as the star dancer, so she seduced Konstantin and convinced him to hurt Dominika during the performance. When Dominika hears this, she gets really angry. She takes a crowbar and goes to the theater to find Konstantin and Sonia. She finds them together and attacks them both. She hits Konstantin with a crowbar and really hurts him. But here's the problem. Now she's committed a serious crime. Uncle Vanya tells her that he can make this problem go away, but only if she does something for him. He says she has two choices. Either she goes to prison for attacking Konstantin and Sonia, or she agrees to work for the Russian government as a spy. Obviously, she doesn't really have a choice, especially since her mother still needs medical care. So Uncle Vanya sends Dominika to a secret training school called State School 4. This place is in the middle of nowhere in Russia, and it's like a prison. The school trains young men and women to become special spies called Sparrows. These aren't regular spies who just steal documents or take photos. Sparrows are taught to use their bodies and sexuality to get information from enemies. The training is really harsh and cruel. The instructors, especially a woman called the matron, make the students do horrible things to break down their dignity and shame. One of the worst scenes is when the matron forces Dominika and a male student to take off all their clothes in front of the entire class. She tells them that their bodies don't belong to them anymore. They belong to Russia. The male student, who had been bothering Dominika before, gets embarrassed and can't handle it. But Dominika stays strong and doesn't show any shame. This proves to the instructors that she has what it takes to be a sparrow. The training goes on for months, and Dominika learns how to fight, how to use weapons, how to break into places, and most importantly, how to read people and manipulate them psychologically. After Dominika graduates from Sparrow School, Uncle Vanya gives her first real mission. There's an American CIA agent named Nathaniel Nash working in Budapest, Hungary. The Russians know that Nash has a Russian spy working for him, someone high up in the Russian government who is giving secrets to the Americans. Dominika's job is to get close to Nash, make him trust her, and find out who this Russian traitor is. Dominika goes to Budapest and starts following Nash around the city. She learns his daily routine and finds out that he goes swimming at a hotel pool every morning. So she gets a membership to the same pool and shows up in a sexy swimsuit. She pretends to accidentally bump into him, but Nash is not stupid. He's been a spy for many years, and he knows when someone is following him. Instead of being angry, though, he's curious about this beautiful Russian woman who is obviously trying to seduce him. They start meeting regularly and talking. Nash thinks he's being clever by trying to turn Dominika into a double agent, someone who pretends to work for Russia, but actually gives information to America. He tells her that America will protect her and give her a new life if she helps them. Dominika pretends to be interested in this offer. She acts like she's scared of the Russian government and wants to escape to America. But really, she's still working for Uncle Vanya and reporting everything back to him. During this time, Dominika is staying in a safe house with another Russian spy named Marta. Marta has been working undercover in Budapest for a long time. Dominika discovers that Marta is planning to sell important American government secrets to the Russians for a lot of money. The secrets come from Stephanie Bouchard, who works for the U.S. Senate and has access to classified information about American military plans. Marta needs this money because her girlfriend in America has cancer and needs expensive treatment. Here's where things get really complicated. Dominica sees an opportunity to prove herself to both the Russians and the Americans at the same time. She tells Nash about Marta's plan to buy secrets from Stephanie Bouchard. Nash is very interested because this could help him catch a major security leak in the American government. At the same time, Dominica tells Uncle Vanya that she can help facilitate this deal and get valuable American secrets for Russia. The plan is for everyone to meet in London. Stephanie Bouchard will bring a computer disk with secret military information. She thinks she's selling it to the Russians for $250,000. But really, it's a trap set up by the Americans to catch her. Dominica's job is to switch the real disk with a fake one that the CIA has prepared. This way, the Americans can arrest Stephanie for treason, and the Russians will get fake information instead of real secrets. The meeting takes place in a fancy hotel in London. Everything seems to be going according to plan. Stephanie shows up with the disk, and Dominica meets her in the hotel bar. They go up to a hotel room where the money is waiting. Dominica successfully switches the disks without Stephanie noticing. But then something goes wrong. As Stephanie is leaving the hotel with the money, she realizes that there are CIA agents following her. She panics and runs into the street, where she gets hit by a truck and dies instantly. This is a disaster for everyone involved. Stephanie's death means that the operation has failed, and now everyone is in danger. The Russians know something went wrong, and they start suspecting that Dominica might be working for the Americans. Uncle Vanya calls Dominica and tells her to come back to Moscow immediately. She knows this is not good news. When Dominica gets back to Russia, she's immediately arrested and taken to a terrible prison. The Russian interrogators think she's become a double agent working for America. They strip her naked and put her in a freezing cold cell. They pour ice water on her and beat her up, trying to make her confess. They show her video footage of Marta being executed, and they threaten to kill Dominica too if she doesn't tell them the truth. But Dominica is smarter than they think. She's learned how to lie convincingly from her Sparrow training. She tells them a story that sounds believable. She says that everything she did was part of a plan to gain Nash's trust so she could find out who the real Russian traitor is. She claims that she was never really going to betray Russia. She was just pretending to work with the Americans to complete her mission. The interrogators aren't completely convinced, but they can't prove she's lying, so they let her go back to Budapest to finish the job. Back in Budapest, Dominica is in a really dangerous situation. Uncle Vanya wants her to find out Nash's secrets and eliminate him. That's when Dominica discovers something shocking. The headmaster from her Sparrow school, the man who trained her, is actually the Russian spy who's been working for the Americans. His wife died of cancer years ago because the Russian government wouldn't let American doctors treat her. He's been giving secrets to the CIA as revenge against the system that let his wife die. But instead of just reporting this information, Dominica comes up with a much more clever plan. She decides to sacrifice Uncle Vanya instead. She plants fake evidence to make it look like Vanya is the American spy. She puts Nash's fingerprints on a wine glass in Vanya's apartment, creates fake bank records showing American payments to Vanya, and makes it look like he's been the traitor all along. The final scene of the movie takes place at Budapest airport, where there's supposed to be a prisoner exchange. The Americans think they're going to get the Russian spy they've been looking for. Nash is expecting to see the Sparrow school headmaster in handcuffs. But when the Russian helicopter lands, they bring out Uncle Vanya instead. Vanya realizes what Dominica has done, but it's too late. The evidence against him looks completely real, and even he can't prove his innocence. As he's being led to the American side, he whispers something to Dominica. We don't hear what he says, but we can see from his face that he's proud of her for being so clever, even though she's destroying him. But the prisoner exchange never happens. The Russians can't let a traitor escape to America, so their snipers shoot Uncle Vanya in the head right there on the airport runway. Nash watches in horror as the man he thought was his asset dies in front of him. The movie ends with Dominica back in Moscow, being celebrated as a hero. The Russian government thinks she successfully identified and eliminated an American spy. The CIA thinks she's their secret agent who helped them understand Russian operations. But the truth is that Dominica is now working only for herself. She started the movie as a helpless dancer whose life was destroyed by other people. But she ends it as one of the most powerful spies in the world, someone who can manipulate entire governments to get what she wants. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. If you did, be sure to check out other awesome recaps on the channel. As always, thank you very much for watching.